the one and only Abiola Kosoko.
Correct, Kosoko.
Kosoko.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
My last name, I need to look back into it. I'm not sure, but yeah.
What does Abiola mean?
Means born into wealth.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Big pockets.
Stop
okay.
It. Stop it. It means.
Well,
like,
hold on. I will say he is one of the few creatives that has paid me.
It's about a wealth of experience.
Right.
You know, a wealth of knowledge.
Okay.
And
Wisdom.
Yeah, that's the wealth. You know,
Right.
it's not always monetary.
Right.
Yeah, because like when the name was conceived, it wasn't like with the capitalist mindset in mind, but like now.
Okay. So look, now you cooking with Crisco.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now we're living in it.
Demo lives. Demo
Yes.
live.
Demo lives. Demo lives.
I like both of them.
I know.
I was like, oh, Demo
You're
live.
supposed to.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, it's multifaceted.
Yeah, you got a double
triple
entendre.
entendre.
Yeah. Oh, triple?
Triple.
What's the triple?
You'll figure it out.
Ooh.
Look, keep looking for it.
No, I do like it because like my name, Altr Digital, has like a double entendre.
Yeah.
Like Altr, different perspective. Altr, creators table, God's table. And so for me, like, I took the A and the E
I didn't
out.
see that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's, it's what am I bringing to God's table? So, it's
at
not
that.
specifying a God, it's like creators.
Mm-hmm.
So when I seen Demo Lives, it was, I think the first time we really linked up was when the Women's March.
Oh yeah.
And you took the picture.
And then we talked at the Women's March because you had told me about how you just went to
Standing Rock.
Yeah, you were just coming back from Standing Rock.
I had just got back.
Yeah, like literally just gotten back.
Yeah.
And then we talked, like even out there, we talked about it for a little bit and then we followed up more. But yeah.
Yeah, that was good. But you know the energy, you could just feel someone's like frequency on what they're about and the trajectory of where they're going. And a lot of people, they like to migrate towards that same person if they feel, that there's chemistry there.
Oh, for sure.
So when I just seen some of your work, I was like, oh, this is hard. Like,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was very. I could see myself collaborating with you, and I didn't know what it looked like. I don't even think well, I guess the pictures, the photo shoot I did for.
Yeah, no,
I think that's one of the only few, but still, there's a lot of.
Yeah, we've done 2 things for work, really. But
oh yeah, the other photo, I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But
yeah,
I mean,
my man,
no,
Devil has paid me. Yo, he is one of the few creators out here that I could say you pay people.
If that's why I try to tell people, like, honestly, I'm not in it for just me. If you're around me, like, I'm trying to get people paid,
right? Because
there's a lot of work to go around.
No, I didn't even think of it like that, but now that I'm backtracking, there's a lot of creatives that I've gotten paid.
Yeah,
and they haven't gotten. But the thing is, I don't even see it as like a reciprocal thing.
Yeah,
I see it as like, oh no, I trust your talent, and that's why I'm like, there's a few that I pay from me and Chev's business, because like I can't do it.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't, and like especially when you're working with your own business.
Right, exactly. So just that type of relationship, that mindset that you have, one is rare because a lot of like, yo, let's collaborate, let's build and link, and this is like,
but
10 years.
Because that's draining. Like it's cool, like collaborating and all that, but like we're not young anymore.
Right.
We don't have like the time and the really space to just do stuff for free, like and to like honestly both like you said, you have your other business, I have my job and plenty of other things going on. We have things that like really mentally take a lot from us, so it's hard to like tap into that creative. But like if you can, and like you can also make it easier for somebody to like eat at night and like you can help get them paid, like that makes it easier for people and it makes it more comfortable. Like, right? Like, don't you feel more comfortable like taking shots, like knowing like there's a check at the end of it? Like for real, like, because sometimes like you'll overextend yourself, like tell somebody, hey, yeah, I could do this. And then like the day actually comes around and you're doing that free work, it really feels like it.
Yeah.
And
the outcome looks like, you kind of didn't care about this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like when you know that there's a goal at the end of it, like, yeah, it makes it easier to do stuff. Yeah. I'm not saying that it's not like, I still do free work, but like in this day and age and like people of our age and like even younger people, like when I work with younger people, I think it's necessary, like just to get that burden off their mind, like in this capitalist society we live in.
Especially when you know what their work is putting out and where it's going.
Oh, for sure. I mean, and then the other thing here is, as far as the respect for creatives, like just all around, Nebraska is kind of like really behind in that aspect. Like if you look at both coasts and like other major markets, like they're hiring for photographers, videographers, and like creative directors for like large brands and stuff, and people are understanding and like realizing that like that creative is very necessary to like launch their marketing and media. And now it's starting to trickle down here to the Midwest. You're starting to see people like have photographers as like salaried positions and videographers, but honestly some companies still aren't there where they think like, oh, it's necessary to have like somebody shoot people like in your city or having talent from your city. People like are still using stock photos and stuff.
Right.
So like with getting that respect brought here, I mean, honestly, that's what I try to show people, especially people I work with, like your work's good and your work's good enough to get paid.
Right.
You know? Like that's something that's really discouraging to some people as when they're doing stuff, because people love their work. People love shooting, people love designing, people love like creative direction, but if it can't sustain their life, then they're gonna be like disheartened by it, you know?
Yep. No, that's I think we actually talked about that. The Midwest starting to come to terms with paying creative directors and having creatives salary. I seen some positions, you know, like on Indeed and LinkedIn. I put in some stuff during when COVID happened, like freelance positions. Now there's like photographers, like they're popping up. I'm like, oh, I mean, I'm not looking for anything, but like for me to see that, it wasn't like that here.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Phoenix, and it was in LA, San Diego, and these are like remote.
Right.
So they want you to go around the city and like capture what they want. I'm like, oh, like it's kind of dope. But they're targeting Omaha, but then it's like the Sinclair Group or some of these other positions here or spaces here. I'm like, okay, so this is like an Omaha thing that's becoming hip. Because I remember we talked about that. And you were like, DC is way ahead of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you're starting to see it now. And the problem is that like when you see these modern things, like when they come to Omaha, it's a lot of times it seems like really disingenuous. Yeah. You know, like if you're going to hire creative, like, but you're still putting them to this, like when you want to hire creative, but then as far as how they apply to get in the company, they still do like a resume and like it's like you kind of want to see somebody's portfolio, get a feel of them, see if the feel is like the right for your company and whatnot, like based on their work, or just see if their work is like you want them to but it's not really given that standard. So it's tough out here, but I mean at least it's breaking down some doors and like finally getting that to pop off a little bit.
You know, multiples. Who want come face and face come one? Who that?
Ludicrous, man.
Wow. Okay.
Come on, man.
I can't even. Let me do that. I ain't even.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, after that one.
I got it.
Okay, like that's very. I mean, it's hip hop, but still not a lot of people that quick with it, you know?
No, it's one of the albums that like, I don't know, Ludacris, he had albums that you could listen to back and forth.
Yeah.
Like
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
Chicken
and these were
beer,
like actual CDs that I bought.
I know, dude. I remember, which one was it? It was Word of Mouth with the lips on it.
Yeah.
Dude, that one that came out, we listened to that whole thing.
Oh yeah, back to front.
Yeah, it was like, yo.
Like got you listening like I-80 and shit. And like,
dude, I got goosebumps. I remember hearing that. That's how it went.
Yeah.
When we, dude.
No, that's my shit right there. Who was that on the track? Lil Fate. That's
Lil Fate. Yeah. It's Lil Fate.
Represent College Park.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, trust me, I know all the lyrics, man.
Dude, I remember
them days. High rights, low lefts, even Stevens and Faze. Feet, Flottos, and BKs in one days. Shit.
Yeah. Nah, that's good.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I used to DJ. I used to do DJ before this.
Really?
Yeah, I swear.
Wow, you was like really a creative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and a DJ, that I don't know. If you look at what happens here with nightclubs and music and stuff, like I guess you can understand.
Right, why you kind of moved away from it.
Yeah, like when like a lot of the best DJs I know, and like most poppin' DJs, they have to play like a certain caliber of party, and it has to be hosted at like a private place because certain venues don't allow certain music.
Right.
And some of that music is just, that's my bread and butter.
Yeah, and that's why you play it. It's 'cause you get the people.
You get people going.
Up.
But I mean, but I mean, honestly, some people have proven that they can't handle it. You know?
Yeah.
Disappointingly.
Yeah, I don't even want to go on a somber note on some of the Omaha politics because we've obviously had our fair share of doofuses.
Oh, it's a hell of a city, but honestly, it's a hell of a country.
Yeah. What was one of the things you said? I want you to bring that up. You actually said something that a buddy of yours said that Omaha resembles a certain type of city in the mid 1900s.
Oh yeah, it's like this is when I had talked with my friend about it, and we like got to the conclusion like Omaha is like a city. It's like a city in the 60s in the South. Mm-hmm. Like a city that had just gotten out of just had busboy riots and just finally integrated schools. Like, and
when you said that I was like, whoa, because people act like they can't create space for other people, for other cultures. It's like
it's very new. It seems very new here.
They're like, oh, what do you mean? It's like, Omaha hasn't been, and granted, Ernie Chambers has been on Omaha's neck, but he's one guy.
Yeah.
So for him to like be out here, like I didn't even know his history. I remember growing up seeing him, but recently, like the last 3 years, I seen like the work he was doing and how he was heralded back in the day.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, that's dope. I didn't even know.
I mean, like eventually heralded. Like the guy was notorious.
Right.
Yeah, and like think about that. Like, thank God now we have like the backing of like the internet and like science and like
facts
and some unbiased media that like you can get other opinions, but like Ernie was out there on his own.
Right.
And
it's a blessing my boy's here. For real.
In Nebraska, it's like Nebraska's like a pre-Civil War city. Like
yeah. Especially like some of the like I said, I don't even want to get into some of the stuff, but like I do commend like a brother like you from the East Coast, you got family on the East Coast, you could easily transition to the East Coast.
Oh yeah.
Like easily. And for you to be here, you're like, you know what? I feel like the work that's going on and some of the stuff that I'm doing is important. So just from an optics perspective, for me to see you and what you're doing, like it's very like inspiring. Just to let you know.
Good. Thank you.
I'm like, man, I was like, my boy Demo. Anytime someone asks me, because I'm indigenous, and so like Black and indigenous. But anytime my indigenous peoples ask me, like, so what's going on in Omaha? We know we heard about James Scurlock and like a whole bunch of other things, and I'm just like, oh yeah. I was like, we got some people down here doing crazy work because I'm not an organizer, but I get affiliated with it because I create and I you know what? I am an organizer because I do.
I was gonna dispute it, but I was letting you talk.
No. But I was never the traditional route of it, which is you go to a nonprofit and they send you off to some stuff and you have a rally, occupying something, like all of that. I didn't go about it that route.
Yeah, I mean it's a different thing these days because like. Yeah, it seems like there's a little bit more step to being an organizer these days. But honestly, if you look at it to the core of it, like before the era we're living in now, like there are organizers before people had an idea and who had to speak on it.
Right.
And when people rally around like your cry, then it sucks.
Right.
You find out you're an organizer.
Right. No, that's good. That's a good way to put it because I went up to Standing Rock just seeing a video on Facebook and I sold all my stuff and I went up there and I was just like. Then someone was like, oh yeah, he's a water protector. I was like, you're right. I am a water protector.
Yeah.
But then you get down here, it's like, oh, we want justice. We want, you know what I mean? So then the activist organizer, it shifts, but what it's really calling for is all the same thing. It's like, yo, we want equality and opportunity. We want equity in the same spaces that everyone has, right? Yeah. And so, yeah, like I said, when I seen your brother, because he's doing crazy good work over in DC, I'm just like, dang, that's dope. Like, this boy's still here? Because you could easily... I mean, hold on, I'm not trying to tell you to leave.
It's true. Like, honestly, it's something I've talked about, something I've thought about often. And I even did. I left here before, and then I ended up coming back in 2013. But it's I don't know. Like, a lot of people have that and it happens more so here than I've seen anywhere else in my life. That like when people leave from Omaha, it has this attraction where it pulls people back.
Right.
And like,
right, because the opportunity here is like, yo, I could do it in Omaha.
And that's what it, like, for me, that's what a lot of it was. Like,
that's good.
As far as like being able, I left and I was in Georgia and DC and then California, and then a lot of those places, like, you are really trying to keep your head afloat financially. And Omaha, you can get that opportunity financially, and then also if you went to school here in Omaha, like, the connections are pretty much limitless.
Right.
But then it's just what you do with it from there. And honestly, like, when I finally got to a point where I felt like okay, I just realized that there's a lot here, and there's a lot that's wrong here.
Right.
You know, like the more you travel, the more you see around the world.
Right.
Like, wow, like,
right.
And thank God, like, I even went to school here, like high school and undergrad and college, and so I got to learn just from a lot of different processes. Like, that's why I told you, like, how I felt about it being like a 60s southern city. Like, people have been so suppressed here, and like, people are numb. Like, a lot of people are just numb to it.
Right.
And like, now with opportunities, like, I mean, like we talked about with the internet and like people being able to see more. Now when people see that, their first inkling is to go and go get it. But what we fail to realize, a lot of people fail to realize here, is that, like, instead of going somewhere else and making somewhere else like great based off of your talent, why not just keep that shit here?
Right.
And like, there's a lot of talent here. And that's another thing, like, why I think it's important to make sure people get paid, because then people realize that this is work that I can monetize.
Right.
And this is work that's good enough here. And like, and it makes people want to do more, you know? And I feel like there's just a lot in Omaha, like, it's like cliche when people talk about like untapped potential, but there really is untapped potential. Right. And I know it, and also so many other people know it. Like, look at Bill Gates and Warren Buffett.
Right.
The richest man in America lives here because he's able to sustain here. Bill Gates has bought most of the land in Nebraska because he knows what he can do with all that. And
oh, really? He bought it?
Yeah. Bill Gates owns most of the land in Nebraska.
Really?
Yeah. He's the largest land. I think he might be the largest landowner in the U.S. Yeah.
Really?
Or top 3, one of those. But like, it's one of those things. Like, yeah, Omaha looks really small, but there's a lot coming here, and we see it so often. You look at the College World Series when people show out, like when they're able to build these stadiums, they're able to revamp their downtown just based on a whim.
Right.
And there's still so much more land.
No, that's...
And we have 2 skyscrapers. You look at places like New York City, they built up.
Right.
Eventually Omaha will get there.
Yeah.
But like, if you have strong roots here, like there's stuff to develop here. And why go from Omaha to break your back in New York? Like, even if you have, like, honestly one of the best talents, like, and you're doing great things, you're breaking your back over there when you can just try to work with a collective or work with people here and honestly build that here. Right. I mean, I say it like it's easy, but it's also mentally this place is draining.
To see it is easy. Yeah. It's easy to see it.
Oh, for sure.
But you're right though. There's a lot of creative real estate here that is super open.
Oh, yes.
For people to come in and plant And I've seen just the fruit of it. Where, I'll keep it a buck. I was on your page. I said something on your page. Someone else from your page hit me up. Was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a photographer. Let me know what your rates are." This
somebody came onto my page and reached out to you for as a photographer? Because I'm about to be upset.
Well, you should be, because they probably, I don't know what they, probably talked to them.
It was probably a post where I said I was busy or something.
Yeah. Well, it was something where I was like, this, I normally put, if I like something, I put like fire emojis, like this hard or something like that. And I put it on there, and they were like, they DM me. You know how you get the primary or general DMs?
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, I like your work. Would love to sit down." I ended up not doing it because the time frame didn't work. But I was like, and I look, and our mutuals was, or me and that, the mutual was you. I was like, what the? I was like, they must have seen, because I had just commented.
Oh,
and so they must have seen me comment, and they went and looked at my stuff, and they're saying, "Yeah, my schedule's hard to work around, but I'm looking for a photographer." And I look like, at that time I was like in Minnesota. I was traveling, taking pictures everywhere. And so they probably were like, "Oh, he's probably a traveling photographer."
And there's probably also it might have been at a time, like, I know I've posted some of your work too. Like,
really?
Yeah.
You on your story.
Yeah, I shared
I remember
that.
No, I remember that. It wasn't around that time.
Okay.
But yeah, I do remember that. See, but that's dope. Like, you're able to like put on for like your people's like, "Yo, check out my boy, check out my girl. They nice with it."
But that's what it's for. That's what social media is for.
I know. It's like the best version of word of mouth that people don't use.
Right. I mean, well, it's built. So your social media will be a reflection of who you are as a person. Right. And honestly, like, just with me, my family, and how we operate, we're really big networkers, and we like to do that with people that we like and we love, and work that we like. We'll tell other people about it.
It's community.
For real. That's what it is.
Yep.
Like, and that's something that's been instilled in us in just a long time. Like the old adage, like, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village, like, to raise a creative. Like, some people can make it out on their own and, like, just have really great work, and they can eventually get it to publicists, and they can eventually get their stuff out. But you've seen people who have some, like, just dope shit. Like,
right.
But either their head's not in the right place about it, or they just, like, get discouraged by it, or they just find something else that takes them away from it, and they don't really tap into that anymore.
Yeah.
So
I'm seeing a lot, they don't know how to market it.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, man, your shit is hard. Like, one of the homies that originally I seen some of his work, and I was like, send me whatever. But one of the homies that I was talking to, or that I remember, he wasn't taking the pictures and like the time lapses of his stuff. He's like, "I'm just really bad at it," but he's gotten really good at it. Is Reggie, Reggie Lafleur?
Yeah.
So now he's located in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
But I remember I was like, bro, I was like, yo, I didn't even know you did this work. He did something. I think it was for somewhere in Benson, when I very first knew that he was like doing murals and all these things. Because we used to draw Dragon Ball Z back in the day, in like, I don't know what class we had, but we would draw Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta. I got the V right here, so I'm like, yo, I'm legendary Super Saiyan. The Prince of all Saiyans. You know what I mean? Like, it was dumb, but like, I remember.
No,
but
I
was
mean,
like,
for real, like, I don't know why it was a thing of men of our age, but at that time we were just drawing Dragon Ball Z.
Dude, I love it.
School.
People were like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Yo, you missing out if you don't watch it. You watch anime still?"
Yeah. I don't get, like, it's funny that it's funny that now we could talk about it. But you remember, like, back in the day, like, when anime wasn't cool for some people, and I was like,
you know what it was? It was associated with like the hentai, like that little porn stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was
for the people I was around. Like, you watch anime? Because it was what's the one with the girls? Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
So they had like the little shorts on.
Oh,
yeah. So they was like, you watching that? You nasty. You a problem.
Sailor Moon was great.
Right. Well, I'll be honest. I never watched Sailor Moon.
Oh, I watched Sailor Moon.
Okay.
I watched Sailor Moon.
So you one of those? I was like,
stop it. I watched Sailor Moon, Ronin Warriors.
Yeah, I watched Ronin, Gundam Wing.
Yeah,
like, Dragon Ball Z. Yeah,
I thought it was just about people who didn't have cable sometimes. So
really? No, that's on cable.
I mean, like, the people who didn't have cable.
Oh, that was hate. Okay, yeah. You're right. Yeah, because I only watched them when I went over my cousins. They had like the little First was the cable box, the red numbers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then they got the joint up.
Yes, the old school cable box. Otherwise, every anime came on like Saturday morning early on basic cable.
Yep.
Like you.
Dang, that's crazy. I'm taking. I'm in a time machine right now thinking about.
It's wild.
Dude, yeah.
No, it's funny. Like Reggie Lafleur. I don't formally know him, but we met like through.
That mural he did?
His mural, and then we were in this community group that Manny put together.
Reggie, shout out to you, brother.
Yeah, shout out to Reggie, shout out to Manny. I can't remember the name of the thing that Manny put together, but they're working on the new bridge that they're building in North Omaha, and they were getting creative feedback. Input and feedback. And then I met him through those rooms. Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah, a lot of creatives, but now he's good at it. Now he's like time lapse and everything.
But he's gone.
But
he's gone.
Yeah, that's true. But he still comes back. He did the one dope right over here. The little what is it called? The shipping container.
Yeah.
With the girl and the lion.
But how dope would that be if he was just here?
Yeah, that's true. But creatives, they move, like my boy Joe. Turk.
Yeah, no, Turk and I used to work together.
Yeah. So this boy is traveling everywhere, but you're right.
Yeah.
He is stationed here. Shout out to Joe.
Yeah,
look, we just shout out all the creators.
But like for real, like imagine if Turk was able to get paid doing murals, and like people actually wanted like his murals on buildings like in their downtown center.
Right.
Here. And like you could say, oh yeah, we got local talent to do this. Like we got Reggie Lafleur to do this, and we got Joe.
Well, it is changing though.
It's changing,
but you know what? It's changing because of some of the chamber work that, or some of the influences that I'm seeing, and they're people of color.
Yeah, it's starting to. Sometimes it feels a little bit forced.
Yeah.
But like,
no, you're right. Like this one.
Yeah.
You're right. I agree.
Trust me, I like, and I even talked with. Never mind, that's another thing. But yeah,
no, yeah. You know what? I respect you with being able to keep it.
Yeah,
keep it, but
I talk with some of the people that worked on it, and they're like, okay, like we're over it. Like it really got drug out too much because it kind of showed that there's not really like that much culture, and
you dabble it somewhere, it looks forced. Yeah, no, I agree.
And it just reminds me of like, that's the thing I don't like about some of it. Like I love that it's great when you see like people start to get into that direction and start to lean into it. But then when you see like a lot of time it goes off as uninspired or sometimes it artificial. Like there's one thing that really just like disturbs me every time you head down, I think that's Cumming Street, and like going up towards the airport, you see the little fake Banksy
on the right.
Like where the Sonic is.
Wait, say it one more time.
Off Cumming Street, like Saddle Creek all the way, and then it has the Sonic right there on the left side. And
you take a right?
If you take a right.
And on the left-hand side?
Yeah, on the left-hand side on the building, they painted it blue, and they have like this little fake Banksy there.
Oh, yeah.
And like that's just kind of like...
You said Banksy. I thought you said Megsky. No, I'm like, what is that? But yeah, you're right. Yeah. I know exactly. I'm like...
Yeah.
When I seen it, it was like, this is like completely out of place.
I was like, yeah, this is just goofy. Like,
but I mean, I'll be honest. I don't know who did it. I'm not taking any shots. But when I seen it, obviously we know who Banksy is as creatives. But sometimes it just kind of, it feels a little forced. I don't know if that was forced, but what I will say is a lot of places in Omaha, the shit feels forced.
Yeah, it feels forced a lot.
Yeah.
Like, and I do like when
Benson doesn't though.
Yeah.
Benson doesn't feel forced. What about you? You think so?
No. I mean, honestly, no. Benson's been pretty good. I like how a lot of people have been getting opportunities because for a long time, my guy Gerard got a lot of work around Benson, like around Omaha, which was awesome. But at the same time, like, and this is not taking anything away from him, like. I wanted them to just really pour into more like artists of color too, and like just even more artists and allow them opportunities.
Right. Oh, instead of just him.
Yeah, but but honestly, he really did open a lot of doors with his work.
Right.
Like,
his shit hard.
Yeah, for real. Like, a lot of the elephant pieces, and then some of his traditional work. Like, like shout out Gerard. Gerard's done a lot.
Shout out my boy Gerard. How you say his last name? Pafung.
Yeah, Gerard Fung.
Fung. Pafung? Chill, man. I'm fucking up last name. Pafung? Is it? It looked like it says Pafung. Hey, Gerard, bro, my bad. We used to play ball, so he went to Benson too with us.
Oh, he did?
So him, Reggie, there's another one that does artistry like that. Oh, Rachel. So she does, she's down in Tampa though. But anyways.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Rachel. Yeah.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is it does feel forced, but you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, and you do have to start somewhere,
and
that's why I'm really happy that he got those opportunities and stuff. But it's like at the same time we lost him. Like,
wait, he's here, right?
Nah, Gerard left.
Gerard, bro, where you at?
I think he left to go to school.
Oh yeah, he went to New York, right?
Yeah, either New York or Atlanta, and then he went to school. But but he's on the bigger things. I assume.
Yeah. Gerard shit is dope, man. I remember he was at it wasn't the Culture House then, it was the Study. It was like before the Culture House became a thing.
Oh, okay.
I actually interviewed him. I still got the interview, but it was kind of out of place in what I was trying to put out, because he was the only creative. That was like a creative. Everyone else was like trying to do agency stuff. Yeah, and I'm like, Gerard stuff was just his shit was nice. His story. Have you heard his story?
Yes, from his when he had a show back at the Old Union.
Okay,
I think.
Dope. So then he told you how like he was on this road, and anyways, Gerard got a dope story. It's gonna come out soon, and I'm sure he has some other stuff online. Yeah. I'm gonna link everything.
But like you said about Gerard, he felt like he was the only creative, right?
Right.
Because there wasn't a lot of opportunities there for people, and it wasn't getting a lot of recognition. Like, thank God Gerard had a product that was so dope that people couldn't look away. You know,
it was like, ooh,
yeah. And they had to give him an opportunity because they knew that other people would get it. But I don't know, it wasn't. I felt like people could have nurtured that more.
Right.
You know?
I see what you're saying. You basically water the creatives that are here.
Yeah.
So that they can create more. Because people get inspired by
if you pick one person and then you're sitting there just badgering them for stuff, then it kind of like I'm not saying that this happened to Gerard, but I'm just saying like for anybody, like it waters down their product.
Right.
You know? Like
and I don't know what he was getting for those pieces, but from what I do in my creative space, every new client I'm raising my prices.
Yeah.
Because like. And then, but if you get comfortable with someone, they're like, oh yeah, we got someone and it's this amount. If I hit them like, no, they're like, oh well, we only allocated this budget for it's like, then it's like, all right, I got it.
Yeah.
Because it's there for you and they wanted you. This what happened with me, and I was just like, I know that I did that before, but my rates have went to this because I don't have capacity. I already have clients. So I used that line, and they're like, oh, okay, well, and then they went with it. I was like, yo, we moving.
There you go. I mean, that's good. I mean, I often think about Dave Chappelle, like when he had that third season of the show, and like how he turned that money down.
Right.
And like you hear about that, you hear about like Basquiat like burning his paintings, and like these big artists not releasing their work, and then. I don't know. As we've gotten older, I finally understand it more.
Yep.
Like the work,
money ain't good money.
No, and it's not. Yeah. And like especially when, like I know that a lot of times, like especially if I'm going out and I'm just capturing images of that, and or just landscape. Like I mean, a lot of the stuff I put out or I give to like. For work is not like my true heart, because like
you're just capturing a moment.
Yeah, because like when you put your real heart into shit, that's draining.
Right.
Like think about painters and like and like artists like that, and like like it's when you put yourself on a medium and people kind of like trivialize it or really don't really understand it, but like. They kind of fake it like for you. Yeah.
Dude, that happened to me. I went to Standing Rock. I wrote a blog and all this shit, but I have a video like that I was talking about it, and I just felt, I was like, dang, I don't want people to So this is the creative in me that's scared to put something out because this is a part of me. It changed what I am doing for the rest of my life. But I have not put it out because I know people are gonna be like, one, I know people are gonna support it. But two, I don't want that, what you're talking about. I don't want the picking apart of something that changed my life.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about Basquiat, like burning his paintings and Dave Chappelle turning down, was it like 50 M's or something?
Yeah.
That stuff to me, it resonates because one, capitalism, it rears its ugly head all the time, and to be able to see it, people think that because they can see something online, like they have a voice because social media gives you an opportunity to comment, they have to say, or they have the free will to say whatever they want, and they do. But if I don't put it out, then I don't know. I just feel more comfortable with like knowing that that's mine, and I'll share it with people. I've shared it a few times. It's just me talking and like me walking and like some little shots that I took at Standing Rock. But it's something that's powerful that I'm talking about it, and some of the wording that I use is like I know it's hard because I know the power of storytelling. So the way I'm wording things, I'm like, oh, that shit is hard. Like I want people to hear it, but also I'm like, oh, you know what, this isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
But it's just funny because we're kind of going back to what we were talking about initially, like capitalism and how Omaha is. Omaha is
a product of capitalism.
Yeah, exactly.
And it makes it difficult. Makes it difficult for people to get around that, and like just mentally, especially in the arts. Like I don't know, since the arts are so misunderstood here, and there's not really it's not really an environment to help artists grow.
Right.
Like
kind of synthetic. Yeah, no, I agree.
Like even scenically, like there's not too much here.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you got to create it. You got to create like and even the spaces that you can. So like, I don't know if you know Blake, my boy, he skateboards, New Vision Creatives.
Oh yes.
Shout out to Blake. I'm shouting everybody out.
Honestly I've never met Blake, but I've followed his, it's Blake's taking pictures.
Yep, yeah, exactly.
I followed his photography for a while.
So like he's doing the skate fest, and what happened with Lynch Park, right? They had the skateboard stuff there. They try to remove it.
Oh yeah,
no one was using it. Right. So, but he's doing a skate fest now. He got the city talking to them, trying to get it up and running. It's going to happen this fall, which is great. He's doing great things with it. But that's like one of the few things that I've seen in Omaha where it's like raw, authentic, and it's from the culture. Like he's skating almost damn near every day, so he knows the culture like that. Whereas like when someone tries to tap into a creative space, they're like, hey, you should meet with so-and-so. Let's go to Archetype Coffee and let's come up with a someone who can EP an event. And it's too like corporate-y.
Yeah.
And it's not like from the mud, but like so when I seen him doing it, I was like, damn, he's doing something that I have yet to see in Omaha, not let alone North Omaha, organically.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it happens here and there, but nothing like how that is.
Well, I mean, it's not. I try not to say this like in a way of sounding disrespectful, but like there's an absence of culture in Omaha, and due to the absence of culture, like people try to make their own and fill it in.
Right.
And honestly, people try to do it with the people with the most money are trying to shift the culture into their way, because I mean it's free reign for it.
Right.
And it's upsetting when that happens, because I mean it's something that we all see, that there's not really a culture yet. And then now that there's a lot of outside influences like internet and travel and people are more so bringing other cultures here.
Right.
And we don't have anything original to stand by.
But we did.
Right.
North 24th.
Oh, yes. No, I mean...
Right.
And that's why I'm saying, like, try not to sound disrespectful, because there is a culture here.
Right.
But it's like, it's been so suppressed, into their pockets, and honestly segregated, like, look at the redlining, like that. It's hard for those cultures to flourish.
Right.
And if you're not giving the opportunities to multiple artists here, like, then you're only going to see one path.
Right.
And that's not and that's just not art, you know? Like,
it's not organic.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not.
manufactured.
It's kind of like when it happens, and like it's something I don't like about like pro artists. Like when you get to that level, like when you're like
a professional artist.
Yes, yeah. Like when you get to that level, like to
like
that
a
level,
gallery. And,
there's like a level of idolatry there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that people like
Banksy.
Yes, like,
but he's not.
And that was never his intention. Right. You know. But like, yeah, there's like a level of idolatry there, and Omaha is sometimes really bad about it. Like it's good when they give somebody an opportunity, but at the same time, it needs to be shown that there's a lot here. There's a lot going on, and I feel like we're not there yet where we can get out of promoting like one person at a time. You know,
right.
Like even most recently, like I love like Wadey White. You've seen his stuff like all over town, and like
that's the like sketch black and white joints.
No, he does wood etchings. And
that's wood etching.
Yes, like I
didn't even know that. I thought it was like a painting, drawing. Okay.
And then like sometimes he paints them, or sometimes he like gets prints off of them. I got to meet him at his gallery in Coneco a few months ago. But like, yeah, it was good to actually meet him and like talk to him. And I want to see a studio and see more. But it's like, how long are you like? What am I trying to say? Like, I love his stuff, but I don't want Omaha to tap him dry.
Right,
you know? Like, like it can work.
Burnout.
But should that one art style be the culture of Omaha based on one person?
Right.
You know? Like, I feel like at that same time, you need to be able to look at all these different examples, all these other artists like doing like great things at the time. I mean,
so how do? Okay, I agree. So
and like shout out to Wadey. Like I'm not taking away from his product, but I'm saying like it's like the city and the powers that be need to realize that there are Wadeys, Gerards, Reggies, and also like. I mean, I could start shouting out my people. Like, there's also
shout them out.
There's also the Blakes, the Kevin Kabors, the Don Brockhouses, the fucking Jordays, the who else? Like
the demos.
Shout out me. I mean, Shane Adams, and I know he's gone now. And like you've got people like look at the Culture House,
Turk.
Turk.
Yeah.
And
my boy, he got an ambulance. He driving around the nation.
Like there are people here like doing stuff, and honestly, it's going to be more attractive when people see more people doing things rather than just a select few, you know. And that's kind of what limits artists too.
Dude, you know what? Like I think that what you're saying too is, so we're calling it out, but we're giving them kind of like a pathway. It's like, look, this is a lightly treaded path that we're kind of showing you, because it's crazy. Other people outside of Omaha are seeing the talent, and the talent leak is happening right in front of everyone who's trying to have Omaha's culture, and they're trying to curate it. That's what's happening. They're trying to curate a gallery of culture for Omaha to help benefit their perspective of what they think is clean culture, whereas culture doesn't happen under a microscope.
Right.
It happens in the wild.
It's free flowing.
Yeah.
And it should be, but like we don't.
So how does it? Do we as creatives kind of do we amplify each other's voice? Do we talk to these people, or do we just not worry about them trying to curate, or like what would you say would be some next steps?
Luckily, like I've been here long enough, and I've been able to work myself into just certain places, and honestly still cultivate like my own projects that, I try to do things like amplify other artists that I see, and also making sure, like I said before, making sure they get paid. Because like making like that is really going to change a lot for people.
No, it is. You're right.
And it is a very necessary thing for the arts, the investment into it. I mean, when you're looking at digital art, like it starts to add up.
Right.
And you can do so much with a certain product, like you don't really need. Sometimes you don't need too much, but sometimes if you want your work to get better, you really need the funding.
Right.
And also just for your mental well-being.
No, 1,000% right. Even like right now, like I got other equipment that I left at home for this shit, and I was just like, I'll be all right. And I realized how unprepared I am, and something that I knew. So I've done this before, like easily. I've done this before, but I don't get it enough. Like I don't have a sit across from a conversation with just a podcast. You know what I mean? And so for me to just realize like, oh, I don't do this enough. We for damn sure don't have creatives coming out creating out here organically enough for them to feel like, oh, I have the resources to do it consistently. And so just when you were saying that, I'm like, oh, like that makes sense. Like there isn't a support system for creative. Now you go to Denver, dude, it looks completely different. Like I don't know what side of the city it's on. I think it's the southwest side of the city. But they have like this whole row. I'm just like, whoa.
Oh yeah, I think that's it's the new area. It's called River North.
Is it River? Okay.
River North.
But it just, I was blown away. I'm like, what the like?
But I'll tell you this is the same thing about Denver though. Denver is a very manufactured city, and like
right.
I've been going back to Denver. My mom married my stepdad in 2000, and he lives in Denver, and I've been there since 2000, back and forth, like seeing it every year. Denver's completely changed, and it's not too far off as from Omaha, like as far
segregation
as like, like as far as like segregation, as far as like being mostly white, mostly
right,
like, and also a red state, but like. Thing is, Denver has given a lot of people that opportunity.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm talking about, the supporting of like the artistry of it.
And they're paying them, and they're letting them put their work on buildings downtown. They're letting them just throw this shit on there because they're just like, okay, fuck it, it's what the kids want.
Right.
But like there wasn't really culture in Denver, like until I think about it every time I think about these places. Like I think about Omaha, I think about Denver, and I talk about how there's not culture there. But like you think back like 500, 600 years ago.
Right. What was there?
And what was there? And this was like hunting ground. This was like meeting place. Like
no, bro.
Like
bro, I'll tell you. So just to kind of tap into that, I was at a basketball game. My wife, she was recruiting some player. And we were like middle of Iowa. And bro, when I tell you I didn't see a single black person in there, I was like, there was something in me that made me really, really mad.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
it's not right.
Because I was just like, all these white people are here, they're mostly farmers. And I'm just like, and they think or they feel this is my
land.
Our home. Yeah. Which granted it is. But it was just like, I'm indigenous. Like that side of me, I was just like, dang, there is nobody representing like this land at all.
None.
And if you ask them, what indigenous tribe used to occupy these lands, they would have no clue.
No.
They'd be like,
unless there was a river named by or a creek.
Every landmark, every street or every city, they're going to Muskegee, like, not Muskegee, but like even Kiowa, like that's a tribe. Like to me, it's just mind-boggling to me.
Yeah,
how that it doesn't like they're just we built this.
No, it doesn't.
It's very frustrating. For me.
It doesn't resonate with people. I mean, but that's why like it is so easy for things to become so artificial,
right?
Especially in the white capitalist United States, because. A lot of things come from that, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, it's a whole nother kit and caboodle that we can unwrap.
Yeah, but with Denver doing that, Denver looks like on the surface like they are like that place to be, right? Like everything's like weed's legal, like they're looking at mushrooms.
No, you're right, because I thought it was a supportive city. You like, I used to stay in Denver, and it's not, so I didn't know. So
Denver's still like mostly white, but like you do. I met an artist down in Denver Detour. Shout out to Detour.
Shout out these. Look, they be just shouting everybody out.
No, but like he's getting his work out there in Denver, and like he's starting to get like a platform from that. But every time, you know what he does? End of the day, he comes home. He comes home. He's doing stuff in Gallagher's all over the place, but he has that. He all his work comes back to Denver.
Has a hub.
Yeah. Like that's what we should be doing here.
Right.
You know, making that open for people, making this place making that hub, because guess what? When you're bringing people back, they're bringing people back with them.
Right.
They're like, oh, this is the home of XYZ. Like you know. Like, and they're coming back, rather than it's like, oh yeah, I'm from Omaha. Like maybe I'll come back to town, but why would people want to come back here if they're not going to be doing anything for them?
Right.
You know?
No, that's good. I mean, you do know we've just been talking for an hour.
I believe
it. It don't
it.
even feel like it.
I believe it.
But well, I mean, because I really want to keep going, but I do want.
I'm saying there's like branches that we could go off.
Dude, like there was like
but
15. I was like, I held myself. I normally don't. I normally be like. But I went down a few, but I came right back. Like those rabbit hole conversation.
If we got into the culture conversation, like no, it would take like 3 more hours. Like I have stuff to talk about.
Dude, no, but for real, like I think that there's power in sharing perspective. So that's why Altr like is a different perspective. Like you sharing that about Denver, I was like, oh, it is like there's a lot of money went into Denver after a certain amount of time because they seen. You know what was available, and then when weed was legal, it's like then you got corporate money pushing. It's like, yo, our headquarters are gonna be in Denver because we know the infrastructure and the commerce is going through the roof. We trying to be a part of that.
But look who's making most of the money off cannabis in Denver. You know,
right?
And like good that Denver's trying to be a progressive city. Like they've got rid of qualified immunity for cops. I think that they are giving birth control to anybody who asks for it, and plenty of other things. But you know, look who's still in control. Denver.
No, yeah, that's those conversations that need to be had. And I feel like people are having them. We can't have all of them.
Yeah,
but I do appreciate you coming on, and you're obviously going to be another. You got I think probably like 6 or 7 more appearances.
We got stuff to talk about
based on if you're open. Like right now, this was kind of like on the fly one. I was literally going to I have like some things to do, but I can do those on my own. But I was like, yo, let me hit my boy demo up. I've already asked you later on or prior to this, and so you was like, yeah, I can make it happen. So I appreciate you coming on, brother.
I'm glad to be here.
Appreciate you guys.
Hope my car's not towed.
Oh, damn. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I don't know how to end this, but these are how we end these things. And we talk to you guys later. Peace.